It's Friday. We're gonna talk about what's sold. Yeah, it's Friday. I hope you sold something too. Ah, yes, I really, really do. It's Friday. Okay, we're gonna unsteady. Oh, there it goes. We're good. Let's go. Hi, it is Friday, so we are going to talk about what's sold this week from my eBay store and my Poshmark. I actually had 4 things on Poshmark this week, which is so weird, but I love it. This is good. All right, so as you know, maybe you don't know, but I'm going to tell you how much I paid for the item, how much it sold for, how much the net profit is after we back out the eBay and Poshmark fees, and then also how long it took me to sell the item, and that's going to help us all decide if we want to have these types of things in our eBay stores. So let's go. I love this first one. As you recall, hopefully you saw this video where I found this cool thing. This is, the brand is called Windmill, and it is a musical lighter for the tabletop. Flip open the top of that globe. There's a lighter inside. When you pull out the peg on the side, it plays some music. Very cool vintage item. I picked it up for $6.50. It sold for $100, and that gave me $75.40 in my pocket, and that just took 1 month for that one to sell. All right, next up here, this is good old Jar Jar Binks. He was called the Hungry Jar Jar, and he squeezed his stomach, his tongue popped out, and he made a weird noise like Jar Jar does. I got him for just $2. He sold for $30, and that gave me $22.99, and he just took 2 weeks to go, which was kind of a surprise to me, but I'm sure glad he's gone. And Winslow really did not like him at all, so was glad to see me put him in a box. That was good. All right, this is a kalimba is what this is called. It's a little thumb piano, I think is what the kids are calling it. Sorry, I lost my mind for a second there. You saw it happen right here on film. It's a kalimba, and this one I got for $3.80. It sold for $25, and that gave me $17.40, and it took 1 month for that to sell. All right, here is a shirt. This is, the brand is called XCVI. This used to sell really well for me. I mean, it still sold quickly, but not for as much as it would have like 2 years ago, but I still usually pick it up when I find it. This one I paid $4.41 for. It sold for $22, and that gave me $13.83, and it took 3 weeks for that to go. I actually got that at a thrift store. I went to a thrift store. Yes, I did. Okay, now next up, this is, it's 2 brand new keypads, which, I mean, you could program it to open a door, do whatever you need to do. I got these 2 for just $8, and they sold for $100. And let me see, I just lost my place. Sorry. The brand is called Essex. And if you see stuff like this, definitely look it up, because this is good stuff here. Like I said, I paid $8 for the 2. They sold for $100, and that gave me $78.90, and that those took 10 months to sell. I was actually missing a cord, but if you're in this biz where you're doing this kind of thing, you can probably source that cord from somewhere else, is my thought on that. So I still made good money on it. I'm happy with that one. Okay, now these books here. Guess how much these books weighed? These books weighed 29 pounds when I got them in their box to ship out. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And my office is in the basement of our house. I was like, hero, you need to be carrying these up the stairs for me. 29 pounds. And I put a sign on them for our postal gal who picks up my packages. This one's really heavy. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's beside the point. I paid $2 for these books. They were called The Art and Spirit of Paris. Beautiful books. They sold for $50, and that gave me $29.55 in my pocket. They took 14 months to sell, and I do want to mention that I only charged $15 for shipping, so I lost an additional $10 because they weighed 29 pounds. Can't say that enough. That was ridiculous. So I'll think about that again. Next time I have something really heavy, I want to make sure I charge enough shipping, because that was kind of a bummer, but I still made just under $30, so that was good. All right, now a pair of Ray-Bans. The style on these was called the Flight glasses, and those, let's see, I paid $6.58 for them. They sold for $44.50, and that gave me $23.64, and they just took a month to sell. All right, this one here, this is something that, like 2 years ago, I could sell Pyrex flameware all day long. I could pick it up and sell it again and again and again. This was my last piece that I had of it because it really dropped off. Paid $8 for it. It was a double boiler, and it finally did sell for $50, which is great. But it did. I was almost about to pull it and just redonate it because it was actually 2 years ago that I listed this guy. And my profit on that one is $33.15. Gosh, if I see flameware again, I'll look it up. I'll be interested. And if it's cheap enough, I probably will get it. But that one took a really long time to go. So think about that when you see the flameware. All right, a little Banana Republic vest here. This one I got for $1, sold for $19, which gave me $14.62. And it did take just 2 months for that one to sell. No, it was a year and 2 months for that one to sell. Yes, I do recall. Yeah, year and 2 months on that one. And yeah, I'm just, as you know, I'm not so much into clothes anymore. For me to pick up a piece of clothing, it's probably going to be something, hopefully, something really good and something special. But anyway, that one, I didn't lose anything, so that's good. Okay, now this guy here, this is, it's an anthropomorphic moon. And it was like a deep dish, but you'd hang it on the wall. Very pretty. It was made in Italy. This one, let's see, I paid $1 and it sold for $18, and that gave me $12.84, and it took 6 months to sell. I don't think I would pick that one up again, but it was very cute. I think it would be super cute. There's a sun that goes with it that I didn't have, but they'd be real cute, like in a nursery, I think. All right, now here's a good old Coach wallet. This was the full zip around signature wallet. And I paid $10 for it, sold for $43, and that gave me a profit of $26.51, and that took 9 months to sell. Okay, Hilo Hattie. This is another one that 2 years ago was flying out for me. I'd be excited to pick it up and it would sell all the time. And this one I got, let's see, last May. So it's been a whole year sitting on this dress. I did only pay $1 for it, so it was worth the gamble. Sold it for $20, and that gave me $15.30 in profit. And like I said, it took a whole year to sell. So I'm not sure if Hilo Hattie just isn't as popular anymore. Let me know if you've had the same experience in the comments. I'd love to hear about that. Okay, now this one, this is it's a wine topper, and then you pour out the wine and it makes a chirping sound. It's called a chirpy top, a little bird topper. I got it for $1, sold for $22. It was brand new, which is of course helpful for that kind of thing. Excuse me. And that gave me $17.24, and that one took 3 months to sell. So hold on. A little sipperoni there, had to do it. Okay, next, this one. Ooh, this is a vintage pop swatch. If you haven't seen these before, the face actually pops out. It has a little ring, and you could put it on your shirt, on your jacket, whatever you wanted, or on the strap and wear it like a regular watch. So snatched this right up at an estate sale for $5, and it sold. It did have some, you can see that the band is bad. It had been cut and it was dirty. So if you have one that's in great shape, they sell for a lot more. But this one did sell for $40, and that gave me a total profit of $28.90, and it just took a week to sell. And let me tell you, this was in my death pile, my money pile. And I know I didn't have it in one of those videos, but once I finally listed it, it only took a week to sell. So, I mean, swatch stuff is always good, and I am not sure why I didn't list it, but I'm glad I did. Okay, now here's a beautiful set of vintage. They're little wall plaques, 8-inch by 8-inch, different birds painted on there. I got the whole set of 5 for $5, and they sold for $30. That gave me $20, and that took 10 months to sell. Okay, more nuts. Yay, nuts. These, again, I'll remind you, these are the Hampton Farms roasted sweet honey peanuts. And we got these 2 bags for $8. They sold for $40, and which is my full asking price, which is so nice. So this is still happening. The nut craze is still happening, and my profit on these were $25.19, and just a month for those to sell. Still have some nuts left. If you need some, hit me up. Okay, now 2 pairs of 511 Tactical These were the strike pants, both in navy blue. And I got these for free from a friend who is cleaning out her closets. Every year she does it. She gives me this huge load of stuff. And I go through it. I donate what I can't use and I list what I can. These were great. They sold for $30 and that gave me a profit of $24.80. And it just took a month for those to sell. All right, here's my flatware for the week. And it seems like I always have some flatware going. I always have flatware coming in. I always have flatware going out. I just love it. This one is the vintage Oneida Bancroft is the pattern. There were 37 pieces in this lot. I got it for $16. And I remember actually I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh, I usually don't pay that much, but I will. And they sold for $125, my full asking price. And that gave me a profit of $91.18. And it just took a month for those to sell. Okay, more brass pulls. I am running out of that first batch that I got, but I've gotten more since then, so I'll always be in the brass pulls. But I paid 50 cents for this pair. They sold for $30, which is fantastic. I think this was the best pair that I had in that whole group that I purchased. My profit was $24.89, and they did take a year to sell, but that's these are so easy to store. No big deal on that. I'm very happy with those. All right, this was a hero for me. This is it's a small mirror with a glass frame, and they do reverse painting on it. So there's little scenes on there. It's made in Peru, little Peruvian scenes. There's even a llama on there. This one I got for 93 cents. It was I had a neighbor that was clearing out, moving, downsizing, and I bought a ton of stuff. So everything ended up being 93 cents. Sold it for 20, and that gave me a profit of $15.37. And it just took 3 months for that one to go. All right, these are so pretty. This is a set of 3 Wedgwood dinner plates. The pattern is called Sarah's Garden. You can see there's a little butterfly there. So very pretty. Gosh, I got these for just $3 each. They sold for $45, and that gave me a profit of $34.32, and it just took a month for those to sell. All right, now this one, this is maybe you've seen these dolls, but it's called a topsy-turvy doll. This is Little Red Riding Hood, and when you turned her over, brought her dress down, it became the wolf, the grandma wolf on the other side. Very cute, vintage doll, handmade. I picked this one up, gosh, for $4, and it sold for $22, and it gave me a profit of $18.23. And that's not right. That's not right. It was less than that because also minus the eBay fees. So right around $15 was my profit. And that one did take 2 years to sell. I remember I had purchased 2. The other one sold right away, and I just been sitting on this one. I was actually about to donate her. So I'm so glad that sold. Way better to get, a little bit of money for it than to have to redonate it. And then it's kind of a loss at that point. So, all right, now you see these 2 little ditties here. This is, they're by Delft, and they're canal houses. One of them is Anne Frank's house, and the other house is Rembrandt's house. And I had somebody contact me, and they just want to buy Anne Frank's house. So they offered me $25 for just the one house. That's fine because I had them both listed for $50. So that works fine for me. What I'll do is I'll just rephotograph Rembrandt's house and get that relisted. Oh yeah, that's what I have to tell you. I got to tell you the numbers. Sorry. Okay, so that one, I am in it for $1.87. Sold for $25, and that gave me $18.78, and it just took 6 weeks for that to sell. And I'm glad to find it a home. So yes. All right, my final pair of Lucchese boots sold. That was so nice to get that notice. And they sold for full price. I did pay up for these. I paid $54.38 for them. They sold for $175, and that gives me $95.52 in my pocket. And they did take 14 months to sell. You may or may not remember. I don't even know if I remember, but I got, 8 pairs. Yeah, I did. And that's the final one. And they were just impeccably taken care of, too. These were in very nice shape. All right, another clothing item here. This is an Ibex women's mock neck top merino wool. I got this one for $7.51. Sold it for $34, and that gives me $28.74, and that one took 6 months to sell. All right, let's move over to the Poshmark. Yay! I actually sold on the Poshmark. Oh, the first item is this Stetson belt. This one I paid $2.50 for, sold for $29, and my profit ended up being $20.70, and that one took 8 months to sell. Okay, this next one here is a Lucky brand. It's just a cute little clutch purse, denim with a little leather flap. Paid $1 for it at a yard sale. And that one, gosh, it sold for $23. That gave me a profit of $17.40, and that took 10 months to sell. And the final item is a Decine purple floral duffel bag. And this one, let's see, I paid $5 for it, sold for $30. So my profit is $19, and that one just took 11 months to sell. I was almost at a year on that one, gosh. That's it. That's all I have to say today. I hope you sold some great stuff this week. And it's a beautiful weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend, so there are going to be some sales to hit. We hit a bunch today, and I got some really cool stuff that I'm excited to tell you about. So be sure to tune in for that. I hope you find some great stuff this week, and I will see you, no, not this week, but this weekend. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.